everybody? Welcome to Checkpoint on Campus, the official voice of collegiate esports. I am your host, Norris Howard, as always, joined by my cohort, Jacob Brothers, out in Sandy, Las Vegas. Jacob, what's happening?
Hello, the weather is finally dropping a little bit.
Well, what does that mean? 88 in Vegas? I don't know.
70 on a risky day.
That's absolutely awful. Anyway, we have some very special guests joining us today on the show. Some CSGO players from the University of Alabama. We have Tucker McDaniel, also known as Tuck Tuck, and we also have Josh Top, also known as Khaz. These guys are a part of that CSGO team. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thanks for this wonderful opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say and ask is that, you know, obviously this year has been really crappy for everybody. It hasn't been great. Is getting back to the business of playing a little CSGO and going back to school, has that made life a little bit more normal for you guys?
For me, yes. It's a little bit different, of course, with all wearing all the masks and stuff. But overall, I mean, and also we mainly have online classes. Actually, I think after Thanksgiving, break, we're going to have all classes, no matter what, will be online, and that will clear our files. But other than that, pretty much the same, really.
Yeah, having that hectic schedule, but just being able to come back and play some CS, which isn't that different, whether it's COVID times or not, is a good it's a nice foundation to relax after classes with.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think of CSL so far? Because this was opening week of CSGO, and how do you think it's going? How do you think? Actually, here's a better question, because this is something I ask all competitors. How do you think CSL? How has it been for you guys interacting with it? Because we've had tournament holders just be all over the place of well done, not organized well. I know Facet's integrated. How's the experience been for you guys working with CSL?
Since I was the coordinator, I had to get register all my teammates and everything. But so far it's okay. I mean, I would definitely say good overall. The only thing that actually had issues was when they said that the deadline to register was this day, and then they extended it back for another day. But other than that, pretty good, really. Overall.
Yeah, Tucker does an amazing job doing all the coordinating. So the rest of us don't really have to. I guess a good coordinator makes it to where the rest of the team doesn't really have to deal with all that. So Tucker does an amazing job.
Tucker, if you're the coordinator, does that mean you're the shot caller as well for the team? Or do you guys have a shot caller?
We have Victor, who is normally normally our IGL. This last game, due to some regulations, he wasn't able to give us as much coaching as we would have liked, but he does a great job.
Yeah, and Khaz, it says, you know, on the CSL website that you're a substitute, but I know that can mean a lot of things when it comes to any esports, and especially at CSGO. Do you guys just have sort of a steady rotation of players, or is it on certain maps where you guys are going to have a certain strategy where you sub in and do something? How does that usually work for you guys?
Usually the main thing is just let the 5 players who can play. Usually I want the main starting line to play. Just to play the whole entire games, unless there's some emergency. I usually have a emergency sub or two, just in case something happens. You know, maybe a storm's happening, someone's internet knocks out or something like that. But overall, those people I tell the other captain or other coordinator, those will be the players who'll be playing, unless something bad happened or something, or some emergency situation.
Right. And, you know, one thing I definitely want to ask is I want to get more into sort of the meat and potatoes of how you guys play. Is that, you know, CSL has a lot of really competitive teams involved into it. You guys' next match is actually going to be against Kennesaw State. They're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
How do you guys prepare for a match, especially when maybe coming off of a very difficult one like you guys? How do you sort of get in the proper mindset to get ready to go back in, especially in a game like CSGO, which people are prone to tilting in?
So one of the big things that's really nice about our Crimson team is that we're extremely good at keeping that positive energy, even coming off of those off of those losses. Immediately after the game, it wasn't disheartened or anything like that. It was immediately, okay, let's see what we could do better, and let's get ready for this next game, and let's take it. And it's just coming off of like teams from ESCA Open and stuff like that. You even through like the most like trained guys, you see the tilting, and I was very impressed to see on Crimson that there was none of that. Like I've played with some pretty amazing people, but immediately they'll tilt if they practice in that preseason and they get all hyped up and they lose that first game and they're just out for the rest of the season, just not playing the best they can. And the Crimson guys have been amazing about it.
Another thing I would like to add too is that every game, no matter of a win or lose, is a perfect game to learn from your mistakes. And definitely, especially with UCF, overall, I was watching the stream, and I'm pretty sure the main issue was that they had better utilities than we did. And so there's one thing we need to price for is utilities. And in cases of pricing is kind of a little difficult, especially when everyone's schedule is kind of like been different and everything. But I do usually try to say to tell the team to practice flashes and smokes on this certain map. Maybe our main map will choose for the game, or just another map we believe that the other team will probably choose.
Yeah. Speaking of like the things you have to practice and get better at, as far as your conference as a whole, how do you guys think you are? Where do you guys think you're sitting on the top half of your conference, or how do you think you guys are going to do overall against everybody?
I think we'll be fine. I think this in the first two games, or maybe the first part, I think we were just a little slow. I mean, this Crimson team is actually a very new team. Most of our past Crimson players either went to Valorant, or they actually kind of skipped the whole fall semester because of COVID, or graduated. So this is a very new team, which of course happens. I'm not expecting like we will like win every single game, of course, but like,
right.
But I think we have potential of becoming much better and probably still have a chance to make it to the playoffs.
Well, with that said, the last thing I want to ask both of you guys is looking forward to that postseason, looking forward to the playoffs. Tuck, I know you basically talked about utility use and where you guys can work on some of your weak points. Going into the match against Kennesaw State, where do you think you guys will be able to perform well in that match and maybe take away that W?
I think our main like best thing overall is usually CT side. I think our biggest concern is just T side. I mean, I'm not saying like T side is bad for us, of course, but like that's mainly when we'll be able to use our utilities the most, and that I think that T side will definitely determine whether or not we have improved a lot, or we have not improved enough to win.
I think a big thing on the T side is we're not doing as good of a job as we should be on recognizing change-ups and pace. So against UCF, we had a lot of, unfortunately, on that T side in Mirage, we had a lot of success later in the half when we started just aggressively pushing. We noticed that that the success of that change-up too late, and I feel like if we're able to kind of feel out the team, we might not take those first rounds on T side, but if we're able to get that feel for what pace is most effective against them, we're going to be able to come out with it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Khaz and Tuck from the University of Alabama, their CSGO team. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us, and Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity.